This chapter will guide you through the process of exploring the Word feature. Upon launching the Word application, the basic windows will appear and we will dive into the essential components of this window you are looking at right here. So before I give you an extensive overview of the whole thing, let's go over the names of all these windows you are watching here. So over here we have the file tab. Let me do this. So over here we have the file tab, which we'll talk in great detail soon. Then just above the file tab we have the quick access toolbar over here. The quick access toolbar is directly above the file tab. Then we have our ribbon. The whole of this window you see here is our ribbon, and above our ribbon we have another toolbar here, which is called the title bar. We have a ruler. Well, I haven't activated a ruler yet, but as we go on, I'll activate a ruler here and you will see some of the things the ruler is used for. We have our help button over here. We have our document window here. This is where we'll be doing most of the work. We have the status bar down here. This is the status bar. Our horizontal scroll bar, our vertical scroll bar up there. We have our view buttons. These groups, these three little guys here, are our view buttons. Then the zoom control. This is where we zoom the window in and out. So I'll be giving you an extensive overview of all this in a second. Let me clear all this and then let's dive in to them one after the other. Now let's start with the file tab. Let's start with the file tab over here. Yeah. The file tab, which has replaced the office button from Word 2007. It allows you to access the backspace view, the backstage view. This view is where you can perform certain basic functionalities. So let's go over there. So we are at the backstage view. This view is where you can perform various file related operations, such as opening save documents, such as saving documents, such as creating a new document, printing, sharing, exporting, and what have you. Alright, so that's just the basic use of the file button. Let me clear this. And you said, oh, what the hell am I doing? Let me clear this and let's use something else. I say, so we are done with the file button, the file tab. Moving on, just above the file tab over here, we have the quick access toolbar. This toolbar provides a convenient location for most frequently used commands in Word. It can be customized to suit your preference, allowing you to access your favorite commands with ease. So if you have certain commands you have been using a lot of times, you can customize it so that you'll be here and you can get it very quickly. So instead of 2, it's straight. Moving on, now let's talk about the ribbon. I told you that this whole area you see here, together with this, is the ribbon. The word ribbon contains it is grouped into 3 actually. We have the tabs, we have the groups, and we have the commands. Over here is the tab, then right here, right here, right here, and right here are the groups. Now the commands are these little commands you see. These commands. So let's talk about let's start with the whole tab, these tabs. So let's start with tabs. These are located across the top of the ribbon and contains group of related commands. Examples include the home, the insert, draw, design, and what have you. Alright, that is just what the tab is about. Moving on to the groups, these organize related commands, and the name of each group is just written underneath. So in this group, we have the clipboard group, we have the fonts group, we have the paragraph group, and the styles group. Now, moving on to the commands, these appear within the groups as mentioned above, allowing you to access specific functions or features within the word. If you want to make your text bold, italic, underline, you will have to come to the group and then you click on the actual command. Now, moving on, let's talk about the title bar over here. So this lies in the middle and on top of the windows. Title bar shows the program and document title. If we should name this document, let's say Ultra Blue Channel, the title bar will be Ultra Blue Channel. It will contain the title of our document. Now let's move on to this part, the help. The help icon can be used to get word related help anytime you like. This provides nice tutorials on various subjects related to the word. If you have any issue related to word here, you can just click on this button and you would get answers to them. So moving on, let's move to the let's say the zoom control over here. The zoom control lets you zoom. Let me actually zoom for you to see what it is. The zoom control allows you to zoom in to have a closer look at your text. The zoom control consists of a slide over here. You can slide to the right, you can slide to the left to increase or decrease the zoom factor. So let me bring it back to its normal view, and let's continue by 7. Now let's talk about the view buttons. The view buttons are here, so let's talk about them. The group of 5 buttons located at the left of the zoom control. This is the zoom control. So these buttons, they let you switch through the word various documents. For example, this zoom button here is different from there and is different from this. All right, so that's just what they do. We'll talk about them in great detail in a very short time. All right, so now let's move on to other functions. Area where you type. So in this area is where all the magic happens. This is the area where you type. The flash vertical bar is called the insertion point. What you are looking at, the vertical bar. Let me actually get this off. The vertical bar you're looking at, which is flashing over there, is called the insertion point, and it represents the location where text will appear when you start typing. So over here, this is where it is. If I should start typing, it is where the text will appear as I type. So we are done with the documents area now. Now let's move on to which one. Let's move on to the status bar over here. So let me put a number on it. The status bar. This displays the document information as well as the insertion point location from left to right. The bar contains the total number of pages and also the total number of words in the document. For example, this document contains just 1 page. So once I add more words to it, you can see that it is changing. So the status bar contains the number of pages and also the number of words as well as the location of the insertion point. I told you that this is the insertion point, the little guy over there flashing. So let me close this and let's see. Moving on. Alright, so that was just a very brief introduction to all the parts you're looking at over here Let us go over them just one more time before we go. We have our file button here, which leads us to the backstage view of our documents. We have our quick access toolbar here, which contains the commands we use a lot of times. As I said earlier on, it can be customized. If you realize that there's a particular command you use a lot of times, you can always customize it and it will make your work easier. Moving on, you talked about a ribbon. I told you that this whole part you see over here together with this is the ribbon. I talked about it having its groups and as well as its commands. Up here was the title bar. This was our status bar, our documents area, our view buttons where we had different ways of viewing our documents, our zoom in and zoom out, or would I say zoom control, actually our zoom control button over there. We have our help button there, which we can always ask for help anytime we want. So this is just a brief introduction to this page and the files, the tabs and all have you. In the next video we'll be talking about the backstage view, actually the backstage view in Word. We'll talk about virtually everything here for you to have a brief understanding of what is going on back here. So see you in the next video.